Hope you're having a great day out there. I just want to provide some information. We're going to change up the podcast today, and we're going to talk about one specific topic, and we're going to talk about big data analytics and benchmarking globally to enable sustainability and the importance of big data. And then we're going to close out with our Growing Up Green series, talking from the green seed and talking about the importance of energy and environment and economics in today's worldview. So let's talk some green intelligence. So sustainability is an overwhelming topic. And what does it really mean to small businesses in the world of sustainability? So sustainability, small business, big data, it has the role of shaping growth and having competitive advantagement and development in today's business environment. So when we use such a big topic and a big title as big data analytics, benchmarking globally to enable sustainability, what does that big topic or title really mean? What it really means simply is to say that sustainability, analytics, big data is shaping the way businesses are moving forward competitively more profoundly than I think people know. Big data is used a lot in the tech world, in the terms of how it affects businesses and sustainability. It really should have a strong place in the role of sustainability and small business as well. So let's start with the concept of and talk about sustainability. Sustainability is such a large word in the concept and usage and objectives. They can really be demystified in its role within small business. Often when sustainability comes to mind, depending on your perspective or attraction or familiarity or involvement, the application can be daunting, almost seemingly unaffordable or not relevant to the size of one's company. But what does it really mean to be sustainable? Well, in the eyes of some, sustainability really means to be alive in the next 5, 10, or 15 years or plus. But yet its role is more broad in its application and narrow in scope. I have used many technologies that you may recognize and be familiar with, such as TQM, Total Quality Management, Six Sigma, Theories of Constraints, Cognitive Work Analysis, Kaizen, and there are more. And as you think about sustainability, and as they say, it's really the tipping point, the game changer, or the triple bottom line, considering people, planet, and profit. So what my goal is to really talk about is the relevance of small business and organizations, municipalities, in the relationship to application, big data, benchmarking, and global opportunity. So if we first start off with what is sustainability? Sustainability really is thinking about what you can do today that affects what is happening tomorrow. A simple definition, but a profound business game-changing effect on how your operations, how you manage your supply chain, how you think about savings and cost, energy efficiencies, period, waste changing, recycling. You think about your computer systems and all the things that comprise what it really means to be in business today. And when you think about that, how do you really know that you're being efficient? How do you know if you're producing savings? How do you know if your building is performing to standard? How do you know if it's realistic or relevant, the goals and the commitments that you've made for your organization, your company, and your small business? How do you know that you're reducing emissions? How do you know that you're becoming energy efficient or reducing waste or even accountable? How do you know these things? Simply, the answer is through metrics, validation, analytics, and understanding your data stream. So we live in a world of big data, and we produce more data today than we ever have before. And that data comes in structured or unstructured methods and means and how we deal with it. So what the Department of Energy has said that small businesses, they said this on June 27th, small businesses face challenges in financing and developing and deployment of clean energy technologies. New ventures often lack the business savvy and access to investors necessary to succeed. Also, communities lack knowledge and tools to select effective energy portfolios or prioritize investments across varied technologies, and the currently available skilled clean energy workforce is inadequate. So when we think about what the United States is saying, well, what does the United Kingdom say? They say that how we begin this process is when we question from small businesses, How do they lower their bills? How do mid-sized companies talk about retrofit or rebuild? How is all this necessary and relevant? So when we talk about all these things, it becomes quite important to think about, big data, how data is embraced, and how we move forward. And as you see, the phone just went off, and technology is always coming in. Data stream, here we go. Phone information is always coming in. So we cannot stop data flow, but what is relevant is understanding and managing data flow to the point that it becomes relevant and moves us forward. MIT, and I'm just going to close off with this, has said in their report with the Boston Consulting Group, and this just came out recently, that really sustainability is nearing the tipping point, found that 2/3 of companies see sustainability as a competitive necessity in today's marketplace, which is up 55% from 1 year ago. In addition, 31% of companies say sustainability is boosting their profits, and 70% report that sustainability has a permanent place on their management agenda. So when we got that, we have to think about how to integrate data, how we understand benchmarking, and how we understand metrics, because it's not feasible to have all these autonomous sustainability reporting, and there's not a way to integrate them in such a way that we can benchmark them and understand how companies, especially small businesses, can move forward by looking at what the top 500 businesses are doing in the world globally, especially those transnational companies. So we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back with our Growing Up Green series. You're listening to LANDcast. Every company wants to be found online. There is a method to SEO in being identified in a sea of search. When you need to go beyond search, contact Arnold IT at www.arnoldit.com, www.arnoldit.com, and contact Stephen E. Arnold. Talking from the green seat, it is a critical time to think about politics, economics, environment, energy, efficiencies, companies, small businesses, leadership. There's just so many avenues and ways to think about life and its changes and the momentum that's taking place. But how do we focus on those changes? How do we cope in today's world of stresses and productivity challenges and operational challenges, and the fact that we wear more than one hat than we did before? Moving from an industrial era to an intelligence era has made us have to think more about how information comes to us and how we manage it effectively and manage our peers and relationships and colleagues as well. So for me, I have to say that my new mantra is to think sustainably. And when I must question what is happening in the world, or how must I have a conversation, how must I move forward, the question must be think sustainably. Think sustainably about moving forward in business. Think sustainably about how do you forward conversations with your colleagues. It may be stressful at moments and times, but you have to have a relevant, relatable conversation to move data and information forward, to have a meaningful conversation and communication, to keep the lines of communication open. How do you think about having emails? I mean, for me, I cannot produce emails rapidly. I have to think about the tone and the texture and the context in which those emails are taking place, because people can feel frustration or agitation as information is being transferred across the internet, the web. We have social media challenges, information coming to you all the time. And how must we manage that? Think sustainably. How must we manage moving forward economically, thinking about our business, thinking about how do we manage the requirements and the needs and the operations and the necessities of our supply chain, our vendors, our environment, as well as our economic resources. All people and all companies do not have the same level of resources or the same level of capital, which is intellectual, social, and economic capital. It varies. And so within that, we must think sustainably. So in moving forward, my mantra to you is for food for thought, or talking from the green seat, is to apply thinking sustainably for yourself and thinking of ways that best suit you as you move forward, and your team, your groups, and your relationships, and your company, and your where you work and how you work, to think sustainably. I'd like to thank all who helped make this possible. LANDSDS and LANDcast is not just a vision of one, but it is a culmination of visions worldwide and globally. We'd like to thank all who helped listen to this podcast and who helped support this. I'd like to thank Arnold IT for supporting this in their technology and resources. We do not all do one thing, we're not automatons. We have to have collaborations and people to help. And so, as we come to a close of another LANDcast, have a positive, wonderful green day. And you're listening to Tyra Oldham and LANDcast.